good or bad. You can think about whether it's good or bad, but you're invited 2 p.m. South steps of the Rotunda. We're going to have an open, honest, intellectually correct discussion about guns. With the faith community and law enforcement, and a list of nonprofits supporting the ban on assault weapons in Georgia, as they have done. The Connecticut statute's been upheld by the Second Circuit Court of Appeals. The United States Supreme Court has denied cert, law of the land. They can call me, I won't tell you what to call me. They can say it's unconstitutional, but they're wrong.
Well, and I'm so excited about that. I've also been looking, surprise, surprise, on a gun package. It's not quite ready yet. I need to go look, but one of my bills is probably going to deal a little bit with the mental health side of things. We're the only state that doesn't, if you've been adjudicated not able to purchase a weapon, we're the only state that just falls off automatically, basically. And then another thing is I'm really interested in pushing the whole thing from the safety perspective. For example, when I had to light a candle the other night, I had one of those like grocery store big lighters, and you have to pull it and roll a ball. There's no way my children could do that. But guns, oh, no big deal. They can kill, that'd be bad if my kids burned down my house, don't get me wrong. But a gun, you can actually kill someone in 2 seconds, and it happens all the time. A dad in Ackworth just left his gun on the bed while he went to change clothes just a few months ago, 2-year-old dead, and more young children are killed every year than police officers by guns. And so I'm working on maybe mandating use of a lock in a home where there are children under the age of 15.
We had that bill in the Senate 20 years ago. We had a really good debate. We almost passed it. So I think that's good. We should do another factoid. I didn't believe this the first several times I heard it, but I do believe it now. I've had it verified multiple ways. Everybody in this room is more vulnerable to being killed by a gun than being killed by an automobile accident.
That's right.
Now, that's shocking. When I heard that, I said that can't be true. It's true. When I think about how nervous I am out there on the road with crazy drunk people driving around, I'm more in danger of being killed by a gun. And I'm not a gun owner. I don't have it in my house. I'm more in danger of being killed by a gun.
Nationwide or
Factually true.
In Georgia. In some states, it's the reverse, but in some, you're more likely to be killed by a gun. And for our state, for the last few years, it's more likely to be killed by a gun.
And if it's a minority community?
That's when it's, of course, even worse. I've got to tell you on a very interesting conversation that I had with some Republicans on this yesterday, where they are scheduling a meeting with the NRA and Georgia Carey, inviting 3 freshman Democrats. These are all freshmen, Republicans and Democrats. And the Republican informed me that he did want to talk to those organizations about that they can't just say no, no, no on gun stuff. And he demands to know their plan for reduction of gun violence in low-income communities.
He didn't name it.
Well, at least he's saying it. But you know what I am scared of? Speaking of that, so there's no chance any of our gun bills will go anywhere anytime soon. So we know that, right? So one thing that I am scared of going somewhere soon is the bill to permit guns on college campuses.
That's a real issue.
That's an actual issue that could actually happen. So actually part of this can also be viewed as defense against.
It's affirmative because
Right.
the Regents really did a good job. Emory's not private colleges. We can't tell President Emory to allow guns on his private property. But the Regents really stood up, and the gun powers that be in the House are mad about that. The House and Senate are different. I've got a good.
She's been in both.
They're different. They pretend to be more open in the Senate, and they are more open in the Senate. They have some Democratic chairman, the minority party has some chairs. They're more open.
They don't get bills, frankly, but there are actual chairmen.
There is more an appearance of a bipartisan, and a reality just because there are many fewer people. The control from the House down top. Here's a question I've been asking myself, and I really haven't decided. I'm going to ask for a hearing on my bill. For an open, honest, intellectually decent conversation. I doubt if they'll give me a hearing, but here's a question. Do I want a hearing? Yeah. Because think about...
Yes, you want to hear. But you need to line up the technical testimony very well.
It's going to be a circus.
Yep. You have to know your stuff. Because I, as someone who is not really big on guns, My husband owns some. They're all mad, thank God, you know, the minute we had a kid. And they're all like hunting, you know, like from like 1800. But whatever, still. I know nothing about guns. I really don't like them. I'm actually scared of them. And so when they start talking to me, I realize they have a lot more knowledge than I do about the actual mechanics. And so that's a disadvantage that I have. And so I need to learn. We're in the same position. So I can't sound, you know, you take away a little bit of your credibility if you don't understand anything about how it works or whatever. But I will tell you the divide is so big, you know. A lot of it does stem from this notion that's been peddled by the NRA about anything means they're coming to get your guns. They're not coming to get.
I'm coming to get the guns.
Well, I'm not coming to get their guns. I'm not coming to get their guns. I would love to, but I'm not actually saying that. That's good. Well, I'll keep that to my mark. But you know, I did serve on this Second Amendment debate thing recently at the state bar. Mary Margaret always refuses. I did it this year. Took one for the team. So it's like me, Melinda Ennis, who's with Gun Sense, Common Sense lobbying organization, as well as the VP of Georgia Carey, who's a very obstinate organization, and Alan Powell, so the chairman of public safety that like shepherded our really bad bill from 2 years ago that made the guns everywhere illegal. So Melinda mentioned at one point in the panel, during the panel, that she had held up, there had been a public hearing of sorts or conference that Gun Sense had put on at a public library, and at a certain point during the conference, 20 to 30 gun owners with openly carrying came in and lined the back of the library. And so when she said that, someone in the audience laughed. And so Melinda said, "What, is that funny?" And then that launched this whole thing. And yes, plenty of people in there thought that was funny. They thought she was stupid for finding that threatening. They said, "What did you think? They were going to shoot you?" Well, actually, yeah, because maybe not, but they're there to threaten me. They're there to give a message. I mean, it was so interesting. I didn't say a thing because there was no salvaging it. There was no salvaging the conversation at that point. But it was very interesting, and to me, it is perfectly rational that one might feel dismayed and potentially threatened by people lining guns to send a message to you. They all thought that was hilarious and that she was an idiot. I'm not kidding.
The decision I made this week to have the press conference inside the Capitol, and I really debated this. Inside the Capitol means that people have to go